Comedy. It surrounds us everywhere. In music, television, theater, movies, public, everywhere. But when comedy turns into satire, a question has to be considered. At what point is this taken too far? To really understand this and decide what exactly is too far, we have to consider what the differences between comedy versus satire are. By definition, comedy is professional entertainment consisting of jokes and satirical sketches intended to make an audience laugh. Whereas satire is the use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues. Or, in other words, satire is a rude type of comedy, which many can think this is inappropriate. But should we really be preventing people from their rights to express this form of comedy, even with the potential of it coming off as offensive? On one hand, how can we really decide when a joke crosses a line? If there is truly underlying hatred for a specific person or group of people, then it is absolutely not okay for a comedian to continue to speak atrocious things and cover it up with the label of comedy. However, many can argue that satire is funny. Taking away people's freedom to deliver such comical things would be a violation of people's First Amendment rights. If the comedian writes the material with the only intention for people to laugh, then it is safe to say that a joke is simply a joke. Besides, if we as a people become to gain more and more sensitivity to something as simple as a legitimate joke itself, will we even have the right to speak our minds someday? Controversial topics need to be brought up if they are present in our lives, and they are. If a comedian is writing distasteful material, they are likely well aware. They are here to make us laugh. We as a society should loosen up a bit and realize this. Yes, words can hurt, but can a satirical joke really affect us to an extreme? This is just me though. But evidently, I'm not alone.
There are no boundaries in comedy, and that's exactly what makes comedy comedy.
The thing about how to censor comedy is someone is always going to be offended by something.
People nowadays are so sensitive.
In the society that we live in today, it is okay to be a bit bawdy in your comedic values.
The Office, Michael Scott, everything that he says is racist and it's sexist and it's funny. Steve Carell doesn't actually believe any of those things that he's saying. It's just for comedic purposes only. We can't be so sensitive to these things.
Comedy is an art form. Allowing the freedom of speech in comedy is allowing people to be artistic and allowing people to be creative. This is too gray of an area to try to limit it.
Now we are in a society that we can be a little bit different. We can be a little bit more harsh.
No one ever really made it anywhere by playing it safe.
If we start limiting, where do we end?
It depends on what way you're laughing at it, with or at.
No matter what we do, no matter how much we try to protect people, people are still going to feel personally insulted by something that someone else says, whether it's on purpose or whether it's accidental. We can't shelter the world. People have to be exposed to this.
All in all, the goal of comedians is to bring people joy. So should we monitor material if it may come as distasteful? Absolutely not. Just because some jokes have content that seems offensive doesn't mean it actually has bad intentions. Freedom of speech is an important thing to have. What kind of a world would we be living in without it? Comedians should be able to speak their mind. This is a right we all possess as humans, and we should all take advantage of it while we still can.